howdy, and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader. My gosh, the summer weather is upon us fast. So, time for barbecue sauce. This is 2 cups of ketchup. That was from a failed batch I made a while back, and I didn't like how it tasted. Can't remember what I put in. I'll have to look it up and make a note, but it was like allspice but it just smells like barbecue sauce. Kind of tasted like it too. I have never been happy with it. So basically I'll never make that kind of ketchup again. But anyways, we're going to make a cherry barbecue sauce. So I have, these are, it calls for sweet cherries. I only have sour pie cherries, so we're going to just try to make it work and see how bad it is. Now, pretty much everything just needs, this is pretty easy. Everything just gets chucked in the pot and then it just simmers away until it's thick enough. So this is, so I open chipotle peppers and I always decant them off, so I always just separate them out. So I got 1 or 2 peppers. Oh, you know, that might be 2 peppers. I only need 2 peppers. So, but I put them in little containers and freeze them so I can have them for later. So I may not need that one. And then they don't go bad in the fridge, because I don't know about you, but I don't always have a good use for those that I can use up an entire can right away. Let me see, I got my chipotle peppers. I always put in a little bit of adobo sauce, so I'm not 100% sure if it's got the 1 tablespoon. I'm doubling this, so 2 tablespoons. But we're just going to go with it because that's what I got. Okay, this is Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce. Boy. Worcester sauce. We just call it Worcester. So, you call it whatever you want. It calls for, I'm doubling it, so I'm putting in 2 tablespoons. Alright, there's that. I need this spoon again, and my phone just went to sleep. That's just lovely. Okay, honey. Oh, actually, soy sauce is next. Let's not miss any ingredients. So we bought like a gallon of soy sauce from one of our favorite bulk stores, and I've been going through it for like years now. I don't eat that much soy sauce apparently. We accidentally bought molasses. I am still going through that. It was supposed to be pancake syrup, and it said lumberjack on it, and I assumed pancake syrup. Don't ask. But yeah, it was not pancake syrup. So yeah, it took us forever. We're still going through the molasses. Honey. Now I probably don't need the honey because the ketchup is really sweet, but I'm going to follow the recipe. We're going to go with it. We're going to see how it goes. And we can always make adjustments the next time we make it. Although I might need the honey just to offset the sourness of the cherries, honestly. Okay. Need the molasses from that gallon that we're still trying to go through. To be honest, I'm actually close. It's taken me years, but I am getting there. So I need 2 tablespoons of molasses. So I will, link the recipe below. I found this on Hey Grill Hey. And this is the first time I have ever made this. I did make the Sweet Baby Ray's clone recipe, which I thought was pretty good, but we've got these cherries and I wanted to give this a try. It's nice to give different recipes a try so you can kind of see, you know, maybe there's another recipe out there that's better. And I'm going to put in just a little splash of vinegar because it does call for lime juice and zest, and I don't have it. So we're just going to go with the vinegar. And then calls for, I should probably actually just get rid of this and go get my teaspoon. Okay, there's a teaspoon. So it calls for a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. And then, once it has simmered, I am supposed to adjust for salt and pepper. Which probably makes sense because at that point you're willing to eat it. This is onion. That was garlic. I bet you could probably put in actual onion because this is going to get pureed. So I believe I have everything in here. You could probably put liquid smoke in here too if you wanted to add a little smoke flavor. So I'm going to get this squeegeed out and then we will get this simmering. So I feel like we went from winter to summer in like 2 weeks. I always feel like the spring here is really short. It just feels like it's so cold, and like I'm just huddled down and trying to stay warm, and then all of a sudden, seemingly overnight, which I know it isn't, we're all of a sudden into almost summer-like weather. So I'm trying to get the last little bit of heating the house done, because once we kind of get past this cool weather, we will not be doing a lot of indoor cooking or baking or canning or any of that stuff if we can avoid it. So let's get this done. I'm trying to get my stove, my oven cleaned. I'm running the cleaning cycle right now, so it's actually really hot right here because of that. But if I'm going to heat up the house by cleaning the oven, I might as well heat up the house by also doing a batch of canning. So this literally just needs to simmer for 25 minutes. There's really nothing else I can do about that, so I will come back in about 25 minutes and I will take you along for the tasting and all that and see what we need to do for adjustments. It's been half an hour and this is where we're at. I kind of struggled a little to keep the temperature at a simmer. It was either splatting a little bit or not simmering. So I do recommend, if you're going to do this, use a bigger pot, because it does kind of splatter, and I think the big pot actually helped me prevent some of the splatter all over my stove, which will make cleanup a little easier. The next step is to blitz this smooth, and I don't think this is going to get totally smooth, so I'm going to put it in another pot and I'm going to strain out any chunks that I miss. That'll just, I mean, barbecue sauce can have some texture, but I don't want big chunks, so I'm going to blitz this up. I have on the back burner my canning pot with 3 pint jars in it so that I can have it ready to go once I get this done. So I'm going to blitz it up. I'll probably mute this or cut it out. Oh, that really brought out the smell of the cherry. Okay, if you don't have an immersion blender, you can always just use a regular blender, but just make sure you cool this off a little and follow your blender's instructions so you don't spray hot liquid everywhere. Okay, let's see how this is doing. Not sure about just tasting straight up barbecue sauce, but can't really taste the cherry. But it's not bad. I don't know that it really needs pepper, but they did say to salt and pepper it, so let's do this. Shouldn't need a ton because the pepper or the ketchup has already been seasoned. Let's see if we can balance that a little bit. So I do see a few chunks. Oh, I did confirm that my chipotle pepper packages or whatever had been set with 2 in it, so I didn't need to add any more. So that's good to know. Oh yeah, that one has a lot of cherry flavor. I must have just gotten a bad spot. Ooh! It is not very spicy, but it's really good. I don't know if it needs something or not. I'll put a little more salt in because I'm always a little short on salt. Okay, let's give that a try. Don't want to put too much salt in. That would definitely be a problem too. Interestingly enough, that ketchup batch that I made, that was kind of a fail for me personally, has been a really good barbecue base, oddly enough. So I've been making all kinds of barbecue sauces with it. It's not very sweet, and I think part of that is the sour cherries I put in. But it still feels like it's missing something. And maybe it's the sweetness. Maybe it just needs a little bit more sweet to it. Although I could see it using some vinegar just for a little tang as well. Okay, let's see where we're at now. I think I have the salt in the right spot. I'm going to get a little bit more. I think I'm going to put the honey in because that's what it's been calling for. I'm going to see if just a little bit more sweetness will help. The cherries have a good flavor, but it does have a bit of a sour note to it because I think of the cherries. So let's fix that. Good thing I didn't clean my spoon from earlier. I will do this, probably just go 1 tablespoon at a time. This will also mean I don't have to work to dissolve the sugar, which is always a good thing. Yeah, let's see where we're at. Ooh, you know, that's what it needed. It just needed a little bit more sweetness. So if you opt to make this recipe and you only have sour cherries, add in a little more honey. Obviously go to taste, but yeah, that's good. It needs, I could see it being really good with smoke flavor as well. The chipotles I put in, I don't think they had a very strong smoke flavor to them. So what I might do is, I'm going to add in a little smoked paprika. That will give me my smoke flavor. I do actually have liquid smoke somewhere, but I honestly don't know where it is, and I don't think I have very much of it. So let's try just a little smoked paprika. This is really good. Oops. It helps if I have something on the spatula. There we go. Well, I don't think that was enough. I didn't actually taste any difference, so put a little bit more in. I do wonder if it would be possible to put this in a shallow tray and just smoke it on the smoker. That way you wouldn't have to worry about using fake liquid smoke. Sometimes they have an acrid taste to them. Oh yeah, that is so much better. Just that little hint of smoke. Now, this is another reason to, this is probably gross, another reason to strain it is the chipotle peppers had seeds in it, and something I just don't want to deal with in my sauce, so I'm definitely straining this. My immersion blender doesn't do that great of a job. So I'm going to do a quick cleanup, get my pot over here. I'm just going to strain this into another pot, that way I can get it into the jars. Away we go. I don't know if you can see this. Just gonna dump it in the strainer. Now you might be able to get away with using different fruit. I could see this being really good with peaches, probably raspberries. I don't know about strawberries. I think peaches would probably be really good. I think I got it good to the last drop. Okay, get this. Let me guess. Oh yeah, I just slimed my shirt because I wasn't wearing my apron. Let's get an apron. I feel like every time I get something on my shirt. It might take a while. I'll speed ahead. Okay, well hopefully good to the last drop. That looks very nice. So I'm going to warm this up a little bit, and then I'm going to switch my pots around. So I got my canner pot here. I'm also splashing and making a mess. Need to figure out. There you go. How much is in here? I think there's only 2 cups in here. I may not have to can this at all. So maybe I will just turn that off. I guess I will just put it in the fridge. So, things to note. If you are a very lightweight and you don't think you can handle the chipotle peppers, certainly back off on them. I put 2 in because this is a double batch. You could put just 1 in if you're doing a double batch. You could probably skip it all together and put the adobo sauce in, but I don't know how that would affect the flavor. Definitely put in a little bit of the smoked paprika if you have it, or maybe a little bit of liquid smoke. Definitely it tasted a lot better with that just hint of smoke flavor. And then obviously salt and pepper to taste. If you're using sour cherries or another fruit that's on the sour side, I would look into increasing the sugar content to help offset the sourness of the fruit you're using. I wonder if this would work good with June berries. We have a lot of June berries in our area, and I can just go pick some. I have to give that a try. Although at that point it'll be too hot to be cooking. Okay, I need a jar for this. Let's put it in this for now. I'm sure that was less than 4 cups. But it's not even 3 cups. Okay. So I will get this in and I will try to give it a proper test try. Maybe I'll make some nuggets or something and chicken fingers or something I can dip it in and give it a proper taste. But this is a really nice barbecue sauce. I'm going to have to make this again. Hey, if you make this and you put in a different fruit, let me know how it turns out. If you make this exactly the way it is, let me know how you like it, because this is nice. Doesn't quite match up with that cherrywood smoked chipotle that we really like, but I like the cherry flavor in this. It's really a really nice zing to it. The cherry barbecue sauce I felt turned out really nice. It is something that I think I would add on my list of things to make once again, and maybe even try like peach variety or sweet cherry variety would be really nice to try as well, since that's what it actually calls for, which I didn't have. But I do have another jar of failed ketchup, so I will probably try to make something else, a different type of barbecue sauce with it, just so I can try something else, and then, you know, kind of go from there and see if there was like a family favorite, or, you know, one we all preferred more, and, you know, probably have that as a regular rotation, but still experiment with other ones. If you have any ideas for barbecue sauces that you'd like me to try, let me know. I probably won't try another one until the cooler weather starts coming around again. So yeah, it got pretty hot today. So I will probably back off on kitchen stuff for a little while, but we'll see. We'll see where the weather takes us. But I hope you found this video useful. I hope you have found a new recipe for barbecue sauce, or at least something you would like to try. And I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.